Well, regional carrier Rex has entered voluntary administration. Australia's third largest airline has grounded all of its flights between capital cities to focus on regional travel. Joining us live now is aviation expert and consultant Keith Tonkin. Keith, thanks for your time this morning. So what went wrong here for Rex?
Morning, Peter. Well, it seems as though the operation of the 737s, which were serving those mainline trunk routes, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane and others, has been a bit of a financial drag on the business, and that's the part of the business that's been stopped at the moment while everything else continues. All those regional turboprop operations continue, and as we understand it, the fly in, fly out business and aeromedical services continue as well.
So did they try to go too big, or are our bigger rivals such as Qantas and Virgin just too strong?
Well, Rex operates with about 5% of the market, and they saw an opportunity during COVID where the Virgin was in trouble and there were opportunities to get some cheap aircraft that were going, pretty cheap and fairly available at the time. So they took the opportunity, and it seems as though it's been unable to sustain financially that operation.
Why couldn't it have?
Oh, I guess its network is probably smaller than the Virgins and the Qantas and Jetsstars. And when people want to book a flight where it's not only just to those main routes, the connectivity to other places not served by its turboprop operation might not make an attractive option. So because of the limited route structure, it may have struggled to get the quantity of passengers that it needed to continue those operations.
So how to save it now?
Well, I think what we're seeing is that the 737 operation has stopped. It may not continue, we don't know, but it's likely that may stop to continue operating, whereas the turboprop operations regionally across Australia, a vital service to communities, is likely to continue, whether on its own or with support from state and federal governments.
Because the regional services, if I'm not mistaken, were profitable, right?
Well, if they're not profitable, at least they're making enough money to continue servicing them. And I know from experience that Rex is very hard-nosed about decisions as to where and when and how often they fly those aircraft to and from places. A lot of their regional turboprop ops are financially supported by a state or a Commonwealth government assistance, and they have a reliable service, and the communities really value them. So I expect that they'll continue.
This, of course, comes off the back of Bonza's collapse earlier this year, back in April. Does this just prove that Australia isn't big enough for three airlines?
Yeah, it's been a really tough time for the aviation industry. Whether there's enough in the market, I guess the test of time proves that the two big operators, Qantas and Virgin, with over 90% of the market, have a good stronghold on what they're doing. And there are niches in the business world where those aircraft can continue to operate and make money. It may just be that Rex overreached in trying to capitalise on those mainline routes.
Well, during COVID, the federal government chipped in roughly more than $100 million, if I'm not mistaken. Would a bailout be on the cards here, or would it be done more privately?
I'm not sure. I know that overnight there's been some reporting that Virgin has taken over the lease of some of those 737 aircraft to support its own capacity because it's having constraints itself. And so I'm not sure that those operations will continue with Rex. Whether they're supported in addition to the business model it already has, I'm not sure. There's plenty to go before we understand fully how this pans out.
All right, I'll put that to the Treasurer next hour. Keith, thank you.